I'm Deborah, Stitching Granny of 17. I want to welcome you to my floss tube. Thank you for joining me in my sewing room today. Let's see, we have a lot to show. I want to thank all my new subscribers, all my old subscribers. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come and join me and see what things that I have to show and share. We have our featured designer, Chrissy, finally a farm girl. And I will be announcing the winner in just a little bit, so stay tuned. I want to share a few of her designs with you. So while I'm talking, I'm going to flash a few of her designs from her Etsy shop. If you haven't checked her out yet, go over to Etsy, Finally a Farm Girl, and look at all the lovely designs that she's created. And she was so sweet to all of us, where she gave us a discount of 17% off. Thank you, Chrissy. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting my channel, and thank you for freely giving of your designs to my subscribers. I appreciate it. I pray that you and Philip are having a wonderful week, and your husband too, of course. And Philip, there are a lot of people out here that are praying for you, that are rooting for you and saying, bravo. We love to see those pictures of you creating, of you doing things and smiling. So don't forget about that smile, because it does make us feel better. Okay, now we're going to get on with a few things that I have to show. And I guess we're going to start with Chrissy's first, because what I've been working on is individuals in this chart that I'm turning into stand-ups. So the first one I want to show you, I started and completed or finished this week. And this is Mrs. Claus. And I put buttons right here. Okay, if you look at the buttons close enough, I want you to notice they are not perfect. And you will find out why later. Have you ever had an outfit on or your hair fixed, but you have this nagging place that just wants to do its own thing? We can make it look perfect, but should we? That's the question. Just stay tuned to the end of the video and we'll talk about that. So here she is. I think she turned out really cute. She was fun. She took a lot of threads. Because I'm stitching this on 11 count, I'm using 4 DMC threads. So I went through a lot of threads with this design. The other one that I finished from last week, I showed you Santa. Well, I finally finished him. So he's pretty stinking cute. Chrissy, you did a really good job designing these. Now, I had to change the design a little bit because he had his mitten and it was over the tree or something. So I had to change it just a little bit, but not much. Now on the tree, I did change. Kind of did my own thing and just got my thread out and started stitching. So here's the tree. And I'm going to turn this into a stand-up also. I pretty much followed her angel. I followed the bucket. And then I just went from there. I said, it's going to turn out the way it turns out. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to try to make it look like ornaments or nothing but lights on the tree. We'll see. I'm planning on having these done by the end of next week. And you've already seen the little mouse hole. I haven't turned it into a stand-up yet, but I'll hopefully have that ready. I hope my idea works out because I want to make it look like woodwork on both sides and then a mouse hole. So I haven't decided if I'm going to stitch the words and make it into a stand-up on its own. Let's wait and see. I haven't gotten to Rudolph Celebrates yet. This was on my plans for July 11th. I may have bitten a little bit too much off to be able to get it done for July, but that's okay. I have between now and Christmas. So in August, I'm mainly planning on stitching autumn. So I will finish up Jack. That's one of Chrissy's designs. I'll insert a picture here. And so I'm planning on finishing that one. And I'm hoping I can get to it this week so I can go ahead and have a finale of all the fully finishes that I have of Chrissy's designs. So I've been stitching a lot this month of Chrissy's designs, and I have one that's fully finished. Remember I showed you where I needed to pick up some red rickrack to go with this one. Well, I changed it completely up because I got to looking and I said, well, I was supposed to make the square, this border right here, come up against the deer, because he looks like he's sneaking in behind nothing. It looks like I just forgot to stitch the deer. So I went ahead, I got this ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and then I picked up some rickrack at Hobby Lobby, and I decided I was gonna do the rickrack all the way around, and I said, this Merry Christmas, I think it made it look kind of cute, so I did that. Well, I do have rickrack along the binding. So here's the pillow, and it finishes about 12.5 or 12 inches. So it's a 12-inch pillow, and I've got the flap right here with the hidden zipper. So it turned out pretty cute too. In a couple of project bags that I worked on, I decided to use up my scraps, and scraps seem to create scraps. So I just took some scraps and just started sewing. And then I had a little bit longer pieces, so the front of the bag I just sewed strips. So this was fun. I just used scraps for the inside. It's a white heavy cotton. So if you know me, or if you're new and you don't know me, I don't spend a lot of money for the inside of bags or the backs of my quilts. I mainly put the money in the front. Now, if it's gonna be a bed quilt, yes, I will buy backing for my quilt, but I don't get the high dollar stuff. I will go to Hobby Lobby, get it when it's on sale, and put that as my backing. And I have used scraps and created some backings. And if I can remember, I'll insert a couple of those pictures so you can see some of the backs of quilts that I have made. And then here's another one. This one will be a gift, but this was made out of scraps too. Now, this piece here, I had less than a yard, but more than a half a yard. But the rest of it, they were fat quarters or less. And the back is just the red and white polka dot. And I put a little B button up here, and I made one of those little Lori Holt things to put on this little circle part of the zipper. And all that's on the inside of this one is that heavy white cotton. So I'm not too excited about making project bags, but I've got to try to use up my scraps somehow. So I'll probably make a few more. I have the little mouse hole right here in front of me. So let me go ahead and remind you of what it looks like now, because it will be fully finished. Lord willing, it'll be fully finished next week. So there's the little mice in the bed. And I didn't do the ladder on the side because I am going to make this into a mouse hole. I'm going to work in where the carpet is, so the little rug. So I'm leaving that. Worked on Letters to Santa. And that's by Fat Quarter Shop. They had the new part of the design came out today. No, I haven't stitched it yet, but I will. But I'm all caught up except for today's design that's been released. So you see, I went ahead and decided to use all the colors in the border. Since they have so many colors on the inside, I thought it was just fitting. I think this is a cute design. I haven't decided how I'm going to fully finish it yet, but this is stitched on 14 count black Aida by Swigart, and I'm using 2 threads, and I'm using the call for DMC threads. And then my take along stitch, I'm almost finished with the Quilt Shop. So I have just a little bit over here to do and a little bit in there in the roof, and then I can move on to the next one. I have 2 more to do, then I can make the table topper. I know Chrissy hasn't started yet. She's trying to finish up a model stitching, but I'm excited to see her progress once she starts getting started on the hand embroidery. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the winner. And the winner of Chrissy's design, I'll enter it right here. The winner is Char 57, and I'll enter the name down here. And she writes, "Hello, I have been hearing about this floss tube person called Stitching Granny of 17. Today you came up when I was doing a floss tube search. So happy that I tuned you on today for the first time. Chrissy, remember where your strength comes from. Psalms 121, 1 and 2. I lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Philip, I wish you today filled with bubbles and to make you smile and laugh. The last 9 minutes of your video was the best. Thank you for sharing." Okay, Char, if you will, Char57, if you will email me at stitchinggranny of17, I will forward your email on to Chrissy, and she will email your design to you. I want to thank everyone who entered into the giveaway and who commented. I was touched so much by all the kind words that you shared with Chrissy and Philip. This world would be such a better place if we all would do that, rather than bickering, fussing, fighting, doing our own thing, getting our own way. So I hope we all learn from this, and we will continue to share kind words with other people. If you're not here for quilting, so long. But if you are, please stay tuned. The quilting's coming in. Wow, I pretty much got caught up with quilting with the Cozy Christmas. Cozy Christmas by Lori Holt. I've got all the blocks appliqued, or at least glued onto the fabric. I need to hand applique them down and do the embroidery work. I only got 1 block completed on the Vintage Christmas. I have several more that's cut out that I'm planning on sewing the rest of the day today and tomorrow. So hopefully I'll make some good progress on that. But here's the block that I did. And this is the reindeer block. So you see I've got to hand embroidery the antlers. I got to put some buttons for the eyes. But I think he turned out pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and show you all my blocks for the Cozy Christmas. I know I've showed you 3 of them, I believe. But I'll just go ahead and show them because it's not going to take that long. Here's another reindeer block. Now this one's applique, it's not pieced. The other one was pieced. And then here's the bell block. This one is hand sewn down. And here is the stocking. That one's not hand sewn down. Most of these are not Lori Holt fabrics. There are a few mixed in. Here's the gingerbread. Now I will add buttons and everything on him. And then here's the holly leaves. This one's not hand sewn down yet either. And then here is the snowman block. I'm sorry if I'm taking these down too quick. I'm trying to make it so this video will upload a lot quicker. I don't have a lot to show today or a lot to talk about. And then here's the wreath. This one's not hand sewn down either. I only have 3 of them that's hand sewn. And here's the present block. And here's the cane to cane. And last but not least is the tree, which no, that's not last. That's second to last. And there's the tree. You've already seen this one because I have hand stitched it down. And then the other one that I've done was the gingerbread house, and it's a hand sewed. And remember, I was talking to you about the door. No, it's not perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. I'd rather have it a little wonky. And we're going to find out why in just a little bit. So speaking a little bit, I guess maybe it's about time to get in there. But I want to remind you all that the first week in August, I believe it's 2 weeks from this week, we are going to start promoting Annabella's. She has become a designer of cross stitch patterns. So we're going to start promoting her, and she's going to have a giveaway. Stay tuned and you'll hear more about that next week. I'm preparing. I'm wanting to mainly stitch autumn in August. Annabella's hasn't come out with an autumn design yet, so I'm going to be stitching her sewing patterns. I'm going to make a bunch of smalls. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the large one or not. I'm hoping we're going to see some fall patterns come for the release in August. And maybe I'll have time to stitch one before the end of August when the promotion is over. So you'll have to stay tuned. But I'm going to stitch at least one item from that design a week. Hopefully I can get one done a week. That's my goal that I have set. And then the other time I will be stitching some autumn items. One is Homestead Harvest that I have not touched in about 6 weeks, and it needs my attention. There's a lot of stitching there and I want to get it done. It's not going to get done in time for fall, but that's okay. Today's scripture is coming from Matthew, and Matthew the 19th chapter. And there's a rich young ruler, and he was talking to Jesus, and then Jesus was saying, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and mother, that thou shalt love thy neighbors as thyself. The young man saith unto him, all these things I have kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Jesus said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, that thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. So Jesus was telling him, if you want to be perfect, give everything that you have. Everything. And then come follow me. Oh, there's no way on this earth I could be perfect, no matter how hard I try. So I try to throw in a few imperfections here and there. People used to say that I was a perfectionist. I don't hear that very much anymore. And when I was younger, I did strive everything that I have to be perfect. I wanted to remember everything. If somebody said something to me, I wouldn't forget it. And if I said something to them, I wouldn't forget it because I wanted to follow through with whatever I said. If I said I was going to do something, I did it. And then I found myself holding other people to the same standard. Well, everybody's different. Everybody has their own mind. They don't think the same way. They don't act or react in the same way. And we have to be forgiving. We have to be forgiving of other people. We have to be forgiving of ourselves. So why be perfect? Jesus is trying to show us that we can't be perfect. If we can be perfect, sell everything you have and follow Christ. We should be following Christ anyway. We give as much as we can for His word to get out. Do what we can to support others, to get the word about Christ still being alive, and that He's alive within us, and that He's coming back one day, and He's going to call us to glory. So be mindful. Continue this good spirit of kind words. Kindness goes a long way. Love your neighbor as yourself. So God bless y'all.